Yes, good afternoon children. Today we have to continue our first lesson, that is adaptation. So in last video we have seen about the adaptation in the desert region plants and in the aquatic plants. So today we are going to continue about the adaptation in the snowy region plants. So if you observe the snowy region plants, their shape is conical, children. Yes, and their branches, they have sloping branches like this. Yes, so such adaptation we will see in the snowy region plants. Yes, so snowy region plants mainly include conifers like deodar and pine trees in there. So these trees are conical in shape due to their sloping branches. So why the branches are sloping, children? So if in heavy snowfalls, if you are seeing snowy region is there, always rainfall is there, snowfall is there. So the extreme cold to these region, their conical shape that can prevent the snow accumulating, or they can prevent the accumulating on the trees. Yes, so it can easily fall down. So it can prevent the accumulation of snow on their branches. Again, if you are seeing the thick bark of these trees help them to withstand the cold. Yes, so like this adaptation which we are present in the snowy region plants. Yes, now next our point is that it is about the forest region. So adaptation of the forest region plants. So if you are seeing that forest region, yes, here great diversity is there. Diversity means what? Varieties of the plants they are present in the forest. So some are tall, some are short, some are huge, some are very big, some are microscopic, means you can see under only the microscope. Yes, so trees, shrubs, herbs, they are found in the forest. So these plants compend, means comparison is there always in there, and comparison is there for the sunlight. Hence they can grow tall and tall to get the sunlights, and that's why the forest, most of the plants in the forest, they are tall. And some climbers and vines, they are also grow a greater height with the support of these trees. Yes, so such adaptations are present in the forest region plant. Now next it is about the adaptation in the grassland plants. Yes, again diverse types of bushes and grasses, they are found in the grasslands. Yes, if you are seeing diverse means different types of there. So they have, some have the fibrous roots of the grasses, they can prevent the soil erosion. Again the forest in the equatorial regions, they are dense. Again if you are seeing the cold region forest, that is different. Now in that grassland plants, so these animals like tiger, elephant, deer, they can remain hidden these grasses. So they can hidden themselves in that. Yes. Now if you are seeing the grasses in the cold regions, so their height is very short, children, if you are observing that. Yes, and in that some different type of animals we can found in there. So rabbit we can found in there, small animals which height is very short, they can be easily hidden in that. Yes, again in hilly areas, again more grasslands are found in there. So this is again the adaptation in the grassland plants. Now next about, yes, one minute I will share that here. Yes, so some plants, if you are saying that their height, if you are see some plants, if you are saying their adaptation is different, potato, yam, onion, so they have their adaptation, will see one by one. So their modified stem to store the food. Groundnuts, if you are observing, it can underground food. Yes, so it is underground food. Water hynic, it can hollow, it have the hollow cavities in the stem for floating in the water. Carrot, beet, they are modified root to store the food. Bitter gourd, grapevines, their stem, modified stems for the support. Yes, so aloe vera is there, so these leaves they can modified into thorn to reduce the loss of water. So such adaptations are in these plants. Now next it is there, I will share that page. Yes, So adaptation for ingestion of the food in the plants, children. So most of the plants, they are they have the leaves and the chlorophyll is present, and by using the chlorophyll they are making their own food. So most of the green plants which have the chlorophyll, they are doing their own food, means they are autotrophic plants. But some plants, dodder plants, these are parasitic, means they can depend on other plants for food and all things. So these are wire like or stem like structure. This is yellowish. Yes. So they cannot perform the photosynthesis because these are leafless. They don't have the chlorophyll. So due to the absence of chlorophyll, they cannot perform their own food. So whatever food they want, they can absorb from the host plant. They can suck from it, and this is a wire like or stem like yellow plant. Yes, it is Cuscuta. So these roots penetrate up to the conducting of the host plants, means from the host plant is there. So from that they can absorb the water and food. Yes, so they are depending on the host plant. Yes. Now next, some plants. Yes, so all the plants, they need nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium for the growth. So some plants, they are insectivorous. Yes, so they can eat the insects. Yes, so Venus flytrap is there, pitcher plant is there, so they can fulfill their nitrogen requirement for consuming the insects. So these are that. You can search on the net and find out. Their videos are also present in there. So such adaptation is present in the insectivorous plant. They can attract the insect and catch them and eat this. So this is about the adaptation for the ingestion in the plants. So today we will stop here. In next video we will see the next part. Okay, thank you.